What's up, YouTube? This is BigDubz. Today, like I said before in my other video, I wanted to cover the Mudrunner Editor. That's what you see here. I've already have mine installed, basically. So, if you haven't already installed it, you're going to need to. You'll get it whenever you download or purchase Mudrunner. But in order to get it, you're going to need to go to a web browser, and you're going to need to go, you can do a Google search on it. It'll come up. It's usually like the first thing. But this is the app website. It's not in the workshop. I don't know. A lot of people have asked me sometimes where it is. It is actually a Steam app. So it's in their app store. Which is, this is the app ID. Once you get to this website, you will need to come and install it. Install button's over here on the right hand side. This is basically the information for it. So you'll just hit install. If you have Steam open, it'll usually show up in your downloads down here. It'll say downloading app down here, and then if you go to your library, it would be in here normally. I don't see it in mine for some reason. That's funny. Anyways, it will put a application on your desktop, and it will install the files. So you'll go ahead and you'll double click that guy, and it will open up the editor, what you see here. So jumping into the editor, I wanted to cover map making in this video. I'll try to keep an eye on my time to make sure that I'm not going over too long, but I'm going to try to explain this a little bit. Nick's did some videos on YouTube. You're more than welcome to go and check those out. But I may be covering some of the same things that he did in this, but I just wanted to cover these things so that I could show y'all how to make custom models, because I've had a lot of requests for that as well. So we're going to go over custom models in another video. But back to the editor. So I just kind of want to give y'all a description of everything and kind of get a test level made. Let's get into it, basically. Once you get it open, you got it installed, you'll have some options up here. You'll have like file, close files, literally close file. You'll see like these are some of my recent things that I've been working on. And you'll notice some of the names and things like this are strange. This is because this is my level that I actually built, and these are some of my custom models that I make. And you know, yours will be blank when you get here, but exit is actually exit the game. So the next tab over is settings pass. You will need to do this first. You will definitely need to go ahead and set the game path, and that is going to be done by if you hit install game media. It will install all the content to basically fill out the folders over here in editor. And that can be found by, it wants you to go and explore for that app. So you have to go into your C drive program files. And you're going to go look for the Steam folder. And then inside the Steam folder, there's a Steam apps folder. And then inside that there is a common folder, and you will see the applications that are there. You'll see Mudrunner and Mudrunner Editor. You will pick Mudrunner and then you will hit OK, and then you will hit Install Game Media, and it'll start working down here, and it'll say, hey, okay, I installed all the cat paths. So the next one down is Texture Editor. This one, I just use Photoshop because I have Photoshop. But if you want to link this to any of their other texture editors out there, you're more than welcome to. Basically, it's the same thing. You're just going to navigate to C, and you're going to go to Program Files. And under Adobe, I have GIMP. Had Paint.net, be under Paint.net. You just basically go in there and find the application, click on it, and click Open. That'll set the path to your texture editor. And what that's going to do is if you're working over here in your files, and you actually want to check a texture, it'll actually open up the actual editor and try to let you edit it in that file. The last thing you're going to want to do is install the Notepad++ Mudrunner plugins. I've already done it. So what it does is, I'll talk you through it, but I'm not going to click on it because I think it does it again. I don't really want to do it again. So you click on that, it's going to open it up. It's going to do the same thing. It's going to look for Notepad++. If you don't have it, you're going to need to go download it. And this is going to be important to edit the XMLs. You can use Notepad, but you know, this just helps make it a lot easier, especially making mods of any kind, like a truck. It's really going to help you make a truck. But just for a map, it'll help you when you're making models, custom models. But once again, that'll be in my other video. I'll cover that a little bit more. Today is just about, you know, getting a map open and working with the map. And there we go. Okay, that was strange. It was like all my stuff reloaded. Sorry about that, guys. I was like, that was weird. You'll notice too, also working in the editor, I've noticed that there it is kind of glitchy. It freezes up, and I have a decent PC. You know, it's nothing spectacular. It's nothing over the top, but I don't have your, you know, just plain old desktop computer. Anyway, that's a little too in depth, but you know, it freezes. That's just naturally how it is. It kind of glitches out no matter what, so don't be afraid. Moving on to these tabs. Save is save up here. Wireframe is basically render the 3D scene into a wireframe. The grid is the grid. Turn this off or on. Night mode, so you can turn on night, see what things look like at night. Fog, if you want fog on. Statistics, reload resources, open a file. So basically, if I want to open an XML, whatever. Duplicate selected, don't ever really use it. This is for trucks animation. I don't ever use any of these other ones really. Local transform and quick mode. Not too sure about these. Gosh, confession, I don't know. I never really use these other three buttons, honestly. That's just me personally. This tab is update your file list. So if I make any changes outside of the editor to the file structure, um, you will need it to show up in here. This is actually to open up a file, and this will open up the actual file location to the editor. And I'm glad this did this. By the way, y'all, you will come into this common folder quite often to get things, to transfer files around. You'll especially be doing it more with custom models, but this media folder, you're going to want to be able to get to this common folder quite often. And what I've done is I just come over here and I've just taken this and I've pinned it to my quick access. That's what I've done. So that I can come here and I can just hop in there really quick. And then also I have a mod folder. This is my personal mod folder that's on my desktop because I get tired of going and looking for it and trying to transfer files into these two folders. So that really helped out as well. So, but the open file button basically opens the file folder every single time back to the Mudrunner Editor media folder. So, find references, don't ever use, and show all files is something, so the editor will hide some files, but if you click on show all files, it will show everything inside the folder, basically, is what that is. And this is the file structure, basically, in a nutshell, what it looks like at the beginning of a plain setup with editor. Now I have a bunch of extra stuff you'll probably not see. You probably won't see meshes folder, and you may not see classes folder yet, but not sure. The meshes folder comes from me adding in custom models. So if you download a custom model and add it in, it's going to add this folder in. But if you don't, I'll discuss that whenever we go through adding custom models and explain this folder a little bit more. Plus, if I open mine up, there's a boatload of models in here. So it's all stuff that I've made. So it'd just be confusing right now. We're only going to focus on these two top folders, and this one is pretty long. And I'm going to explain these. This top folder is your mods folder. So these are my public folders that are out. Basically, these are the maps that I've published to the Steam store. This folder right here is just a new mods folder. There's just nothing in it really. It's just a new folder that it always creates. So you literally create a new mod, it's just going to create a folder. So that kind of leads me into about creating the map, basically. So we'll get to that in just a second, actually, really. But you don't want to necessarily always create something from up here. But I don't want to explain that right now. Let me talk about pre-build real quick. Pre-build folder is the other folder, since we were talking about file structure. This folder will get you the folder is like basically like all these references are the game files that you just loaded in from the media folder of the game. And what these are little pre-built levels, basically, or pre-built like sections of a map, like if you want to ditch. And by the way, what this is saying, this is going to happen to a lot of stuff. It cannot find the .tga files, blah blah blah. What it's saying is that they're not here because no, it doesn't exist. It's going to want to create it real quick. Is all it's going to do. And like you see, this pulls up a little sample section of like the map, basically, or a pre-built map section. And it kind of just shows you like how they build like a section of the map. Um, oh, cool. This will give me a time to explain this. So like I was talking about earlier, you got file, close. So this is what I just opened up. I don't need this file, so I'm just going to close it. Close the file. So that's what I was talking about earlier on that stuff. Anyway, pre-build folder is the folder where I build my trains from. You can actually come up here and on this folder, like this new mod. So if I create new mod, it'll create a folder here. If you right click on this folder, it'll allow you to have a couple of options. And these options are basically going to give you, you can import a mod, you can import a train from spin tires, you can create a new truck, a new wheel, a new add-on, a new train, if you're going to create a new map, or you can publish the mod. Most people would think that, hey, let's come up here and create a new train up here. Don't do that, because this is going to basically put everything up on the cloud on their stuff. And I'm just not ready as a level to be out there, or maybe I want to come over here and publish it or something, or I accidentally published it, whatever. I just don't feel like I want my files to be made up there first. So I typically don't. And what I mean by that is if you actually go, sorry, I clicked on the wrong thing. If you go to my profile and I go out to my workshop, I go my content, workshop items. You can see that that's that mod folder right there. It's only showing for me. It's not showing for the public, but it shows for me. So basically, that's where those files will be setting. These other folders, which is in the editor here, like this map, that's the folders to that folder, basically, or that file or that map. So I just don't build my stuff that I'm working on like test up there. And that's the reason why. I always build my maps from a pre-build. So does Nix. Some of the other guys probably do that as well. There's just a couple of ways that you can do it, honestly. It's up to you. I just don't feel like I'd like that way, so I typically build my maps out of this area, out of pre-build here. So, checking my time. And I can already tell this is going to be a two-part video. So, we're going to get to a certain point, and I'll stop, and I'll just do a quick pause, and I'll come right back from where we left off. But now that I explained the file structure, like I said, we'll disregard this one until we get there on custom models. But now that I've explained basically mods folder and the pre-build folder, we can actually start building a map, I feel like. So basically, you can see that I've got a couple here, these level underscores, and then I also have this one down here called test on mine. And this map is just for me to like throw models on. This map I actually use to actually test my models with, or like drive on. Same thing with this map, but this map's in Steam. I made this map for somebody else, so to test their vehicles with. But this is my newest map that I just published, and you'll see that I'm missing one because I actually deleted one because I was bad when I first started and did not back up my files to this map, and I accidentally deleted my hard drive trying to make more room So I don't have any of the files, so this map is non-editable for me anymore. I can always make changes to these other two maps, but I can't make any more changes because I am missing the XML files of this map right here. So warning to the wise, back up your maps. So I'll show you how to make a copy of it, basically, because you literally copy all the files into these folders and then you publish it. Usually that's how I do my maps. So let's get into actually making a new map now. When I want to make a new one, I just come over here and I right click on the pre-built folder and I click new terrain. And you definitely want to name it level, all lowercase. The game does not like capital letters. And you'll want to do an underscore. It even says it right there. So you can rename your map. I don't know how. I think Nate says that you can do it, and he was going to put out a video, but I don't know if he ever did. I'm not 100% sure on that. You want to go back and check and just watch his videos. I don't know. I usually come up with my name just randomly. Some people have themes that they come up with. Mine are kind of, my first one I knew my name because I knew the place that I wanted it to be. Same thing with my second one. So usually it's up to you. But for this, we are just going to do level underscore training. Because we're training. Cool. Size. Basically, the size is different, I think, on mine compared to some. But as you can tell, mine has like a slider and it has it in meters. I don't know why. Some people's is different. It's I think it depends on the update that you have or what version you have of the Steam app or when you got it, I think. I don't know. But all the way to the right is maximum size, which is a 64 by 64 square map inside the game. It's the largest map you can make for Mudrunner. And typically all my maps have been this size. I do not recommend this if you're a first timer and you know you're not really sure if you want to make a map. I don't recommend that size. Just because it's a huge map and it's a daunting task to finish. Like sometimes I'm even like, man, I don't really want to finish this map anymore. Because you get so worn out with the map. Because you can get super detailed into your maps, honestly. It just depends on the creator and the artist. So the bigger the map, the more details you can get in it, the larger area that you got to cover. I always recommend like a 600 or like a 640, 6 something, like a 600 something usually is like a good size medium map, which is not a huge task to fill out, I feel like. So that's usually a good starter map size. It's fairly decent size. I think like a lot of DV Gaming's maps are about that size usually. 32 by 32 map in game is what it'll be. I know mine's in meters is weird right now. So, but anyway, that's the size of your map. So, once you click OK, it's going to give you this error, same error that you seen a while ago, and basically it's saying, I can't find some of this stuff. It's normal. You just click OK. And then it's going to give you another error. Could not load terrain.stg file. Well, do you want to create it? Yes. And what this is going to do is going to create all of the height and terrain files that you need, like where you place your water, where you place your trees. All that will be encoded into this STG file, which is going to be over here on the right on Scene Viewer in a second. So that's all it's asking you. So you just create yes, and voila, we get a map. Sometimes you'll get this, by the way, and you're like, where's my map? I can't see anything. It's all invisible. The game reads this as a basically giant billboard, and the bottom side is invisible, the top side is visible. The bottom side is invisible, and the top side is visible. So, if those of you that are down here are looking at the bottom, and to fix that really quickly, you can double click on one of these squares, and typically it will take me back to that square. And it will pop me back in to where I can see my train. If not, just roll out on the mouse and you'll be able to see this dirt, basically. You've gotten to that far. I got about 4 more minutes. So I think I'm going to pause, honestly, and we can pick up right where I left off from here. And we'll continue on explaining about the map. And we'll get into the scene view. We'll actually create some things. And we'll go through, the making of the map, how to do some things. I'm going to try to show you some glitches that it'll have as well. Some errors that I get sometimes, like some problems by like raising the land too high or something like that. But hopefully we'll get to see those. But I'll cover that in the next video. So I'm going to go ahead and stop it here, and we'll go from there. All right.